And lights, camera, action. Ready, go. Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. Julianne Lichty here for Acting from All Angles, Actors and Actioners. How are you? We are going to be talking about taking direction on set and otherwise today in our Acting from All Angles. Fabulous. But first, before we start, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Julianne Lichty Stratton, and I am the creator of Actors in Action professional acting training, where we are dedicated to helping the actor find their own acting process, fail-proof acting process. So I see some people on. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited that you're here because we're going to be talking about something really cool and really important. Like I said, we're going to be talking about taking direction. So this comes from one of my students, Jack Fariska. He said, hey, let's talk about taking direction, which I love it when you guys tell me what you want me to talk about because it makes it so much easier to provide for you what you need. All right, so Natalie Mariel's on here. Hi, Natalie. Good to see you. Okay, so let's just dive in. All right, so taking direction, it's pretty straightforward. Pretty much the director is going to tell you what they want and you need to do it. So that's what you do, but how do you do it? It can be a little difficult, especially a lot of directors don't have actor-ese. They don't know how to speak in actor language. So for actors, we often will do verbs, or we're like, what's the emotional content and how do I play this, get a verb to do this, or what am I going for? And the director will generally say, you know, Jack, that was pretty good, but can you make it a little more heartfelt? What does that mean? You're like, okay, sure, heartfelt. All right. So you're thinking in your head, okay, heartfelt means more of my heart in there. I feel it more, more sappy, more, connected in this emotional way, more emotional. Is that what it means? So as an actor, you got to translate that. And the way I teach, we use actions, we use verbs. So instead of playing a verb to annihilate them, which is going to make them feel scared and whatever, maybe it would be to draw them. You would, hi Trent just gave a thumbs up. You would draw them out, which is going to connect you more to how you feel and how they feel. Okay, so the big thing is when you are taking direction, you need to really try to execute whatever the director is asking for. I know a lot of times in auditions, people will come and audition. Even when I audition people in my classes or when I've sat in on casting, you get a little bit of direction. You're like, hey, could you slow it down and make it a little bit more connected to yourself? And they're like, yeah, I can. And maybe they slow it down a titch. Maybe they just a little teeny bit. When a director tells you something, especially when you are auditioning for it, do it. Go big or go home. Do it. Really do what they ask. If they say, I want this subtler, can you make it smaller? Make it very small. If they say, I want it bigger, make it bigger. Do it. If they say, I want you to slow down, slow it down. Go slower than you even think you should be. All right? Because they're looking for a couple of things in auditions with that. They're looking if you can follow direction. They need somebody who's directable, right? And they also are looking for, hey, Jack, I see you there. They're also looking for somebody who, who's capable of that. And they're looking for somebody that they can mold and they can work with it. So you have to look at it from a director's point of view. If you look at it from a director, Trent Taylor's saying, I could not imagine not doing what a director would say, laugh out loud. That's true. But sometimes you don't know how to give them what they want. Right? And that's the problem. That's really the issue, what we're doing here. So let's talk about that for 1 second, then we'll go back to what I was talking about. So if you're not sure what the director means, if they're talking like, very esoteric, meaning it doesn't make any sense, you can say, okay, so when I'm doing this line, you say more heartfelt. Do you want me to connect to them more and tear up more? Is that what you mean? Or do you want me to be more like proud or angry, that kind of heart? What do you want to do? And the directors will generally speak in of feelings. They'll say, I want you to be angry, or make it mad, make it mad, or make you more angry. And for a lot of actors, that's hard because you can't just control your emotions. You have to be able to put it into your craft and go, okay, What verb am I going to play to make them more angry and more angry, me more angry? Or what personalization am I going to deepen to make it more heartfelt? So you have to learn how to translate your stuff. You have to learn how to translate what the director says into what they want. And sometimes that's hard. Now, a true director, a really, really good director knows how to talk to an actor. They know the process of acting. They know that it's not result oriented. They know that the actor has to go through a process. And some of them will say things like this: okay, you know, I love how you're doing this. You know, you're kind of like back and forth with each other, but actually this came from something that I worked on. I won't say what it is because I'm in a non-disclosure agreement with it, but something that I worked on. A director was talking to these two people that were doing this sort of like, you know, touchy-feely, like feeling each other out, not in a sexual way, but just feeling each other out. And he's like, okay, I liked what you're doing, but can you give me another take that's a little bit more like cat and mouse, like you're playing cat and mouse? Can you do that? And they're like, sure, yeah. And then they did it, and it was different, and it was great. So that director knew how to talk to his actors, knew how to give really succinct things to help his actors. So if you are confused about what the director is saying, try to like very nicely say, you know, can you make that a little more concrete? I'm not exactly sure what you're going for. Don't belabor it. Don't talk on and on and on about it. Just, you know, and they will tell you. And then do your best with it. Just do your best. Go with your gut. Throw yourself in. So now I'm going to talk about what I was talking about a little bit before, is how it works being a director, right? So I've directed stuff. I've been on lots of sets. I've seen people directing. The director's job is to take the whole vision of the film or the play or whatever they're working on and make it communicative. Make it communicate to the audience the themes, the essence, the emotions of the play or film that they're working on. That is their job. So most of us sit down and we block things out and we figure things out and we're like, I need this in this moment. I need that in this moment, all right? So they know, they have an overall vision. That means the actor is there to serve the director's vision, all right? The director cast you, the director knows what's going on. You need to be able to just pick up what the director says and do it. Trust them. Trust them that they know. So, because they may be watching the scene and they may be going, they're not quite getting this moment of, or they're starting too high. Let's take that. They're starting too high, too excited. And I need this scene to build. So I need to pull them down a little bit so they can get to that excited moment later on, all right, in the scene. So they might come to you and say, okay, you know, that was good. You did your first take. That was pretty good. Can we start it off more subtly, a little more relaxed? Don't let it eat at you until he says this line. And then you can let it grow. And you're like, sure, you got it. And hopefully you're a good enough actor that you can just do that. All right. And if you do, your director, you're going to make the job so easy for them and they are going to love you. They're just going to be like, oh my gosh, let's hire them again. Okay. Because you also have to remember that directors are dealing with so much on the set. They're dealing with the actors, they're dealing with the lights, they're dealing with the crew, they're dealing with their storyboarding, they're dealing with so much. And if you are an actor that can go in there and give them what they want and just do it for them, they're going to appreciate that so much. It's just going to make their day, and they will probably use you again if they have a role that you're right for. Who knows? They may even write for you. A lot of directors are director writers, and they see actors they like that are easy to work with, that give them what they want, and boom, they start writing them in more. Okay. All right. So overview, what you want to do. Following direction is, first of all, you want to follow it. They tell you something, employ it as much as you possibly can. If you do it too much, they'll tell you. They'll say, hey, can you, I told you to slow it down, but let's not do it quite that slow. And then you split the difference, all right? Or I told you to settle it up, but I can't see any emotions yet. So they'll go back and do it, right? So trust them, really give them what they want, especially in an audition. Because that is the test to see. Directors are trying to see if they can find people that they can direct and they can work with. And in an audition, it's so tricky. We all know auditioning is so stressful and hard, and it's like you've got all this stuff and you're trying to do your best, and you may not have your lines learned exactly, and so you're juggling all these balls. But if you get in there and you have a director that says, there's this really super important moment that I need, make sure you nail that moment. They ask you to slow it down. If they ask you to, I know there's nothing more disappointing for a director, for a casting person that's casting, and somebody comes in and they do a pretty good job, but you just want to tweak it a little bit, and you tell them the tweaks, and they don't bring it, they don't give it, you're just like, okay. It's just hard. Otherwise, if they do, they're like, yes, it's so impressive. Okay, great. So this is it for Acting from All Angles from today. I hope that helped. If you have more specific questions about how to follow direction, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'd love to address them more. But basically, what you need to do is you need to do what the director tells you to do. And you need to, if you don't understand what that is, get a little more clarity. Get a little more clarity. And as you get on more and more sets, you'll be able to follow direction more and more. All right? Okay, so that's it for today. Keep on keeping on. Continue with your daily acting processes. We're going to be starting a whole new thing of Actors in Action on July 10th. We're going to be doing ongoing classes instead of 6 weeks. I'm thinking that's going to help people understand that you can't learn acting in just 6 weeks. You got to actually put some time into it and train. So I'm really excited about that. And we do have our showcase coming up in August. We're working hard on that. It's going to be really amazing. That's going to be the 17th and 18th at the Eccles Black Box Theater, and super excited about that. Okay, remember to leave me your questions because I want to know how I can help you. My goal is to build this community and to help actors be better and book more. All right, rock and roll. Have a great weekend. We will see you next time on Actors and Actioners, Acting from All Angles. Over and out.